in my second Mother's Day pot, I'm going to do a herb pot. Now I think giving herbs are one of the most lovely gifts you can give someone, because not only do they look fantastic, they often have a lot of wildlife value, but then of course you get to cook with them, and the flavours of your own homegrown herbs are so much better than any that you buy in the shop. So I've got this lovely terracotta pot. It's not the biggest pot, and I think one of the mistakes people make when they plant up herbs is to think that you can get tons of herbs in a single pot. Now, all of these plants down here actually grow to quite considerable size, and if you try and if you said, oh, I know, I'll put all the thymes in a pot like this, it would look really lovely on Mother's Day, and then I guarantee you, in a month's time, half of them would die off because there's not enough space. So, despite the fact that it would be lovely to kind of cram the pot full of stuff, it's not actually a very good idea. Compost that I bought from the garden centre is kind of actually more suitable for kind of flowers and vegetables and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is mix it with some grit that I've already got on the bottom, just so that I can kind of cut the compost and give it a bit better drainage. Now, I bought a selection of herbs because I wanted you to see that there was more than just going for kind of sage or rosemary. I really like thyme. I think it's one of those things that's just really great to cook with. And there are so many pretty thymes out there, so you don't have to just kind of grow the bog standard one. This one has got lovely gold variegation, has a slightly lemony scent to it. This one has got silver variegation, standard kind of thyme smell. This is actually lemon thyme, so very much smells of lemon, this, and it has a kind of lemon citrusy flavour when you cook with it. And they're all really nice plants. I also got this little pot of marjoram or oregano, which is great on pizzas and pasta and in sauces and stuff like that. Now, this is a tiny plant, but actually wants to grow to about this by this high. So you can see why I say you only have one plant per pot. And then finally, I've got a little pot of chives. I like chives. One of the reasons why chives are so lovely is they have those beautiful sort of bright purple flowers that appear from kind of late spring into midsummer. And then again, if you cut them back, you'll get one or two flowers for the rest of the summer. And I've also got some chives. Now, I love chives because they have those really wonderful bright purple flowers. The bees love them, the hoverflies love them. They're really good, you can eat them, so they look beautiful if you like scatter them on top of salads and whatnot. And they are very kind of tough, hardy, easy to look after herb. And if I was going to do this pot, what I think I'd do is I'd probably put the chives in the middle and then surround it with these violas, which I love violas. I don't think anybody can have enough violas in their life. So if you imagine if you kind of filled the rest of the pot and then with violas, which would kind of tumble over the side. And actually you can eat viola flowers, so it would still be an edible pot. I wouldn't want to eat these ones. If I was going to eat these flowers, I'd cut them all off these plants, so that got a new flush of flowers, which I knew didn't have any chemicals on. And the chives would grow up and they get a lot wider over the summer. They'd flower. The purple of the viola and the purple of the chives would look really nice, and I think that would actually be a great looking pot. So that would be one choice. Equally, you could do the marjoram and the violas. That would look lovely. But I think I'm just going to do this lovely variegated thyme, and that's the only thing I'm going to put in the pot, because like I said, thyme really needs to spread, and it definitely doesn't want to have any company. Now you can see that this has got quite kind of matted roots. I mean, this says a lot about thyme and how it wants to grow. It needs a bit more space, and actually all these roots are healthy, but they are quite congested. So what I'm going to do is just gently tease them apart like that. By kind of just breaking the roots up a bit like this, what you're forcing the plant to do is go and explore the new soil around them. And then You want to make sure that the plant is at the right height in the pot. So you don't want it sitting proud like this, because basically all the roots at the top will dry out and die off. And you don't want it sitting too low, because it will look silly. So that's roughly the compost that it came in, is at the same height of the edge of the pot. And then you just fill the edges with more compost, like that, and give it a good water. And this will eventually take over all the top of the pot, and by the end of the summer it will be kind of trailing over the edges.